dog. Hi guys, I don't know who's out there. I'm not paying any attention to you because I'm in my emails looking for my Engelgeist link. Give me one moment. So I can't see what's going on. Give me one moment. Here we go. Ba-bam. Ba-bam. Control C. All right, let's go to chat. Let's see who we've got in the chat. No one. We have one viewer, one stalker looking at me, trying to decide what I'm doing. Okay, I don't even know what my hair is going to look like, so do not gasp as I switch cameras, please. I am so fucking tired. You guys, hey Lisa, how are you? Hi Melanie Ann, how are you? Why did the rear camera not work? Oh, that is the rear camera. I guess I always have it in the rear. I'm so tired, you guys. It's been a rough... Hey, Tammy Sylvester, how are you, dear? Hi, Melanie Ann. It's been a rough... Hey, Lake, how are you? Just a little update on me. I'm not sharing this out to anybody. It's just kind of for you guys that watch me regularly. I mean, people can see it. It's broadcasting live to the business page and to the Facebook page, but tonight is charm night, obviously. I'm going to attempt to do some charmings. I'm really tired. That's not excuse me, that's not a big giant butt, although I love big giant butts. That's not a big giant butt. It is just a bear with me, folks, kind of moment. I mean, most of you know that my brother passed away within 3 days' time, like in the middle of February, like out of the blue. I got a phone call asking me to be his medical, I can't remember the name of it, the person that makes the medical decisions for him. And I said that I thought it would be better for it to be my mom to do that role because she's his mother. And I also didn't want to take those decisions away from my mom. I didn't think that that was fair to do to her. Because he is her son first and foremost. So she agreed to do it. They called her and she agreed to do it, but he was on life support at that point. And so through compassionate, I can't remember the name of it. They call it, I think, compassionate extubation or something like that. They took him to hospice, and within 3 days' time, it was just, he was gone, and it was crazy. So that was one thing. And then we had that crazy 5-day storm. Let me turn on lights really quick. God, I feel like I'm like 62 if I'm a day. It's crazy. We had those crazy storms, the winter storms here in Texas, which are fluke things that don't normally happen. We had like 5 or 6 inches of snow on the ground. Everything froze. People were losing their pipes. Food was hard to get to. Roads were closed. A lot of people suffered really badly. My pipes froze one night, but thank God they thawed, and then I learned to keep them dripping. Thank God for Jennifer Nichols. Hey, Mary. Hi, Ivana. How are you, dear? And so, hi, Leslie West. So it was like a lot. It was just, and then after that happened and ended, in the middle of all of that, I had a business dealing going on that would have financially have set me into a place of a little bit of security because I have a piece of property that I'm trying to sell, and I was able to potentially sell it. We went through all the paperwork, the back and forth, the negotiations, the housing inspections, all of this sort of stuff. They were ready. We had an agreed upon price. We were even signing addendums. And then I found out that my agent, this was all the way back in January 28th that we had first originally signed the original sale agreement, but then we had to go back and forth on the price, negotiating the price, and then they had to do their inspections and stuff like that. So that was all happening in February. Then I get this email after the storms are over and my brother's passed and all of this shit is going on. And it says, oh yeah, one other caveat. They're getting their COVID shots and then they're going to travel down to Mexico and they want to see the house in person. But at that point, that will be in 3 weeks from now. And at that point, they'll then put the money in escrow, and it's like 10% goes into escrow. So that 10% is to protect them so that I don't sell the house out from under them to somebody else. It's also to protect me so that if they walk away and break contract, I keep that 10%. And so without that 10% in escrow, it doesn't really matter. It's like, it's not really a deal. So I lost that deal. That freaked me out. And then my cousin, I get a message from my aunt that my cousin in New Hampshire was she thought she had a GI tract infection and was just staying home being sick. And she ended up being in liver failure. And she's only in her 30s. She's young. And so she had liver failure. She got taken to Leahy Hospital in Massachusetts and got moved straight to the top of the donor list. So that told me she was in dire need, right? Luckily, they found a liver for her. They were able to conduct the operation. She's been extubated and everything's fine. And she seems to be on the mend. So thanks and prayers to that. But it was just like one thing right after another. And then with all of that going on, I fell behind on the tarot scopes, which I always feel guilty about that. And not that I do it often, but when I do that, I try and get this stuff out to you guys in timely fashion. And then in the midst of all of that, my birthday happened and I bought myself a puppy. And I bought the puppy thinking that I was going to sell the house. I'd already had plans to buy the puppy, thinking that I was going to sell the house in Mexico. And I'm sort of pissed that like the Mexico deal fell through because I thought, oh, okay, the puppy's not going to be a big deal because that money's going to be coming and I can rearrange things and get things normal. Needless to say, I have a puppy now, and he's cute, he's fine, and all of that, and he's becoming a partner to Gus, which is what I wanted him for because Gus is also considerably younger than my other two oldest bulldogs, and he's a Frenchie, so he'll be smaller and more compact as I get older. I've also made a decision. The turtles that I've gotten, more and more that I read up on these turtles, the more scary. Hi, Nellie Connolly. Hi, Leslie West. Hi, Karen Stringer. Hey, everybody. The turtles that I've gotten, the tortoises, they get huge, like 80 to 100 pounds. They live up to 100 years. I've decided I think I'm going to send them to a turtle site, like a turtle rescue, a tortoise rescue. They're supposed to have 6,000 square feet of roaming space in the backyard. I don't have that at all. And so these guys, I have two of them. And so I don't think I have the capacity. Even I could say, oh, I could raise them for the next few years, blah, blah, blah. But part of that yard space is also a pool. They're not supposed to be near water. So I'm kind of like, that was a bad idea. Like impulse buy, Dan. Like they were cute and everything, but I just feel like, and then all of this anxiety I've been going through in the mornings about finances because of that deal falling through and just the way the world is. We've just reopened everything to 100% in Texas. And it's just kind of, I don't know, it's crazy. And so I'm sort of like, I feel like my head is fucking spinning still. And all I want to do is sleep, but I need money. Like I need to like work. And so I'm on tonight to do Charmings. I've been driving for Uber Eats and trying to do that over the last 3 days. That's also challenging. It gives me a bit of anxiety because A, I'm driving places I've never been before in a city I'm not really super familiar with. B, it's a weird, you know what it is? It's like what I figured out is it's a weird world that we live in how things have changed. I'm a Gen Xer totally through and through, right? I'm a latchkey kid. Like I grew up in that generation. And when I was driving yesterday for Uber, I realized that, and I drive Uber Eats, not because I don't want people in my car because of COVID. So you don't make as much money, but at least it's something, it's anything. And so I've been driving in Uber Eats and this one woman ordered, and bless her, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have work. But she ordered 2 Trenta teas and a cake pop to be delivered. And I had to drive like 3 or 4 miles to her house to bring her this stuff, which is not like a huge distance, but it's long enough. But I'm like, really? Like 2 iced teas and a cake pop? You're going to spend the money to have that delivered to your house? But this is how millennials live. Like they live in this sort of weird Instagram world of like, just get on your computer and tip, and poof, it's at your door, poof. You'd be amazed how many people Uber Eats McDonald's. Like I didn't even know McDonald's was that fucking popular. And there is hoes up in this city buying McDonald's left and right. And I'm just like, in a way, I'm grateful for it because it's giving me a little bit of work. But it's just weird. Like I didn't know, like if you're gonna Uber Eat something, might as well Uber Eat something that's good and healthy. McDonald's is like on the fly food. You'd really pay somebody to deliver it to your house? I guess it's like pizza. I don't know. Anyways, hi Tina Charlie. Oh wow, life can get in the way. Sometimes it seems crazy at times, but When it rains, it pours, but things will turn around for you. I believe so too, Lisa. I really do. Rough time for all of us. My town was devastated by an earthquake 2 months ago, and we are a bit crazy because government doesn't do much for us with all that COVID stuff. Oof. Yeah, it's true, you guys. Nobody's doing much for us like here. They just keep reopening, which is fine. If we can reopen and businesses can go back to normal, that would be great, but we don't really know what that looks like. So I'm a little bit scared and anxious about that too. And I might need to go get like a job. I'm hoping the reason why I chose Uber Eats is because I get to set my own schedule and work when I want to. I get to work by myself. And I also didn't want to drive people in my car like for COVID. So I thought with Uber Eats, at least I'm just bringing food. And I literally put the food in a warming bag in my trunk. And then I drive it so it doesn't come in the car with me. I'm a mess. Anyways. But I'll do whatever I need to do to survive at this point. Like, I'm at that place. A job, ew, exactly, Tammy. I know, I don't want to work. I want to stay home with my babies. Speaking of babies, you guys want to meet the new baby? Hold on, let me go get him. But once I let him free, it's going to be nuts in here. So I might have to put him back up. He's kenneled right now because I was just in a class. So give me one moment. Talk about meet the ladies. Come on, Miss Dobby. Come on, Giovanni. Oh, hi. Oh, you're just crying. Oh, I love that. Oh, was you sleeping? Oh, was you sleeping? So everybody, this was my birthday present to myself, which I probably didn't need. But this is Gabriel. He's like, what are you doing? I was asleep. Leave me alone. He smells so good. Oh, I could just sit and smell puppy smell forever. So I named him after the Archangel Gabriel. I call him Baby Gaby. He's a baby. And he's just a baby. Let me get you, if I can get you a full face shot there. Look at that baby. Oh, look at that baby. He's still getting used to us. He's only been here for about 7 days. So, since the 1st of March. And so we're trying to get him used to the family. He's fitting in with the pack, which is good. I'm going to go pee him really quick because he's been in his kennel. So let me go drop him and see if I can get him to pee on his pads. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. And then we'll get started. Hi. Okay, good job, bud. All right, sorry guys. I should have done that before I got online. But anyways, so that's what's been going on in my life. And then adjusting to a new puppy and a new like Uber Eats schedule, trying to figure out, oh God, bad hair day. Trying to figure out when to drive and when is best. And I don't like leaving the dogs for really long periods of time. So I've been trying to like monitor all of that. But we're adjusting. We are adjusting. We are adjusting. So let me shut the bedroom door so he has less access to the house. And what are you guys doing? Come out here, please. Come on. Just so that I can keep an eye on him. Thank you. All right, stay in here with me, guys. Stay in here. There's chew toys in here. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Come on in here. Just don't chew the cords. All right, cool. So he might, all right. He might stir shit up, and then I'll have to put him back in his kennel because when they all get around, he gets really excited, and then that puppy energy drives the older dogs a little bit nuts. Somebody PayPal. Oh, Tammy. Thank you. I need it, Tammy. Thank you. You don't even know. Thank you. Hi, Edwina. Thank you. Hi, Robin. How are you? Hey, I said hello to Nellie, and hi, Karen Stringer. How are you? So this is the deal. Tonight is Charm Night. If anybody wants to cash in, if anybody's a Patreon and you want to cash in your March charmings, you can. If not, I may throw cards for people. If anybody wants to do card readings tonight, I've been really feeling the cards and doing clarifiers. So if anybody wants to purchase a card reading tonight for $25, you can. I will do clarifiers and do it a little bit more in depth to make it more worth your while, but it will be public. Basically, Mama needs to make some money, so I'm here to be of service in that way. Sunday service to my pocketbook, girl. So, for those of you that do watch me on Patreon, if you want your charm, or that's the other thing too. For those of you, I may have to put it back up because they're all growling now. For those of you that are at the high level of subscription on Patreon, if you want to do a card reading instead of a charm. All right. Okay, I gotta put him back up. Sorry. You guys, I can't do this because he's too little to be like being so stupid. Let's push back for just a little while and then you can after I'm done. Well, don't follow me in here after you just growled at him. All right, you wait there, and then... No, Sven, don't get in my seat. Sven, don't get in my seat. All right, he's safer in there. That way I can pay attention to what I'm doing. All right, so if you are a Patreon subscriber and you don't want a charming, but you would rather trade it in for a reading for March, you can do that too tonight. That's up to you. And if nobody wants anything, that's fine too. I can just... clock off and go play with the puppy. And that's not a euphemism, people. So thank you for the money, Mary. I see that you sent money. Did you want a charming, Mary, or did you want a reading? If any of us buy you a gift, how can you receive it? Melanie Ann just sent payment for a card or a charm. Well, Melanie, you just need to decide. Hold on. Now you guys are like hammering with me with money. I love it. I need it. Trust me. Like you don't even know how badly. Oh, that's your cause, Sven. Like seriously, now is not the time to make love to me. I'm busy. Sven's like climbing up my leg with his claws. All of a sudden now he wants to be like married. Let me see here. So Mary sent 25. Where is my thingamabob? That's garbage. Hold on one second, guys. I'm just trying to clear out my email so I can see what's going on here. Oh, I just feel like so wiped out. All right, so why am I not seeing... Melanie, it's up to you if you want a card reading or a charming. I would say this. A charming might be a little bit more vague, where a card reading might be a little bit more specific, is my feeling, if you're interested in that. It's up to you. Okay, so I see that from Mary. And I see that from, that's Mary. I see another payment. Hold on. I'm just trying to open these emails. Melanie. Okay, I have Melanie and Mary. And then, so Mary, you want a general charming. Melanie wants cards. Okay, cool. Tammy, did you want anything for that donation? Because that donation was huge and I really, really super appreciate it. Let me get my camera together. Let me go to here. Let me see here. Logitech Brio. Okay, cool. All right, so this is we're going to first do Mary's charming, and then we'll do Melanie, blah, 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 sorry, Melanie Ann's card reading. I'll just close the charming and we'll just do it here on the table like that. All right. So, and you said, no, like you don't even know how. Sweet is not the word. Generous, amazing. Those would be words to use for Tammy, Mary. All right, so let's do Mary's charming general. Let's see what we've got going on. Okay, so first letter is, hold on one second. The only letter you have is A. It's number one. Number ones always have me focus on the self, Mary. Now, it looks like everything to me is in the future for you in this reading. You have some things in the present time moment, right? But this is sort of in the subconscious. So this is going to be something that you're not really aware of. This is something that is moving and happening in the now. It's interesting that you have the 6 of Cups and this 5. Fives always indicate change, right? We have the rubber snake in the back, and you guys know my definition of the rubber snake. It's kind of like those things that sort of get under our skin, bother us, cause us harm, that we give too much attention to, but it doesn't really deserve it, right? What I love about this, Mary, is it feels like you're moving away from this rubber snake. Like maybe you've been dealing with problems, situations that have just kind of been weighing you down, pulling your energy, whatever, but they're moving towards the past. They're moving away. And there's been a space of sort of like, I see all of this space here is kind of like a clarity that's happening for you, right? Like a transition. I know you just moved to California because you and I sometimes talk, but this here to me speaks to this transformation that's sort of bubbling under the surface in your subconscious, like maybe where you want to be, what you want to do next, what are the next chapters. That would be the significance of this butterfly. The 5 would indicate the changes that have taken place, right? To me, it's about the movement towards maybe Reno and where you're at now. And the 6 of Cups is about emotions. It's usually about balanced emotions, and it's also about a nostalgia, an emphasis on family, making things right, bringing things back into balance, and kind of being grateful for that. There's a lot of giving and receiving in the 6 of Cups. So I love that this is up here coupled with this change that's happening and this transformation that's taking place. I sort of see these 3 as your present moment. They're not settled yet, right? Like this is still down in the subconscious. This is still in the flux of change, but this is very much hopefully where you're at, which is this idea of exchanging emotions with those that you love, caring about them, and sort of being like grateful for them. There's also a sense of gratitude with the 6 of Cups. Now, more in the future is all of these charms here. So I have believe in your dreams, which is upside down, which says to me, the upside downness only, it says to me like maybe we need to figure out what those dreams are or how we want them to look. What are our highest goals of, say, whatever it is that we're working on or working towards, and really bringing those into fruition, almost like turning them up. Like there's possibility in everything that you do right now. And so you want to believe in that and begin to create that for yourself. So you're kind of almost there is the feeling that I get with that. And underneath that is the guardian angel charm, which says to me that you are safe, that you will be guarded and guided, hopefully, in everything that you do as you move forward and as you believe in these dreams. And as you begin to formulate them, listen to your higher self, listen to your guides, listen to your angels, and let them carry you into the future, right? Up here at the very top is the swan, which is the element of grace. Swans are also very familial animals. And so to me, when it's up here, it's in the higher mind. So keeping that idea of grace, or how to do things gracefully, handle things without too many hangups, too many emotions, that sort of thing. You're still allowed to have your emotions, still allowed to have your opinions, all of that. There's nothing wrong with that. Swans can be very fierce and protective animals, but there's an element of like beauty and grace to them that they keep, a peacefulness and a calmness that they keep moving forward. And I like that coupled with this Six of Cups up here. Underneath this believe in your dreams and the guardian angel, we have the word brave and we have the word love. One going upward, one going downward. And I think that might be the focus for the future for you, is not only standing in your own bravery or sort of like trying to not maintain it is not the right word. It's almost like be consciously aware of how brave you're being in all of the changes that you've made thus far and the changes that you make as you move into the future. Be brave in those and also balance those in love, which we see that love again in the Six of Cups. We also can see that love in the transformation of the butterfly. But as we move forward into the future, really sort of like grounding in these two words or these two principles there. And I love how one's facing up and one's facing down. So there's almost a balance between the two. You can almost see a masculine and feminine nature to them also too. Brave being more masculine, feminine being that of love. So there's this nice balance of being strong and protected and brave, yet also being vulnerable and loving and compassionate. And then this charm here says, when you're grateful for what you have, more will come into your life. And this is flipped over, but I feel like this is sort of something that's yet to be shown to you. It's just a matter of time, right? It's a matter of acting in this bravery, acting from this space of love, being in this state of grace as you move into the future, trusting that you're protected, trusting that your guides are there, trusting that your own intuition, your own guidance will not lead you astray. I also like that this transformative butterfly is, even though it's still in the subconscious down below where it may not feel like you're transforming completely, you are, and it sort of also looks like it's flying in this direction towards the future. So you're going to see more of this transformation happening as it continues to transform and move this direction. We also have Mother Mary here, which this charm to me indicates sort of maybe your role with your children, your role as a woman, the peace and serenity that comes with her, the centeredness that comes with her. I like her because there's a bravery and a love aspect to her too. She personifies those things, like sort of the divine essence of femininity. So I really think that there's good things to come for you. You have to believe in them, which I think that you already are beginning to believe in them. Right now, though, this big space here feels like this might feel like we're in a holding pattern, right? Because there's no charms right here in the dead center. So we might feel like things are a little bit up in the air or really unclear, especially with that 5 sitting there, that change. But in the higher mind, like I said, we have the Six of Cups, which is about a focus on the family and the betterment of the family. And in the lower mind or in the subconscious, we have this transformation butterfly happening. So even if it feels like presently we're like, okay, so now what? Because there's not much here. There's a whole lot of what coming to you down the line in the future in these charms and in this transformation. So trust that it's taking place. Trust your higher mind. Trust your grace and your sort of innate sense of what the right thing is to do, and you're going to be fine. You'll be able to move into these dreams and understand, like this says, what does it say again? When you are grateful for what you have, more will come into your life. And it's not that I don't think that you're not grateful, but I think that you're starting to build that gratitude and starting to understand and touch base with those dreams of how you want maybe your next chapter to unfold and what that looks like to you. And so you get to determine that and transform that and then move towards that in grace, bravery, and love, and move away from the rubber snakes of your life. I hope that makes sense, Mary. That snake was my own mind, she says. That, and for those of you that are on Facebook, you can't see Mary's comments because she's watching me live over on YouTube, guys. So that's who I'm talking to, just for those of you on Facebook. And Melanie, when I start to read Melanie's cards, she's going to be over on Facebook versus for those of you that are on YouTube. But most of you guys know this because most of you guys are familiar with me and how I work. So yeah, so that's there for you, Mary. And I think that right now is a transition for you, but that's okay. And it's going to be a beautiful transition into something like much more, I would say, stable and compassionate and loving, not only towards others, but also towards yourself. So I hope that that really works for you. Hey, Tracy Swinson, how are you, dear? All the way over in Perth. So I hope that works for you. Let me know when you have a screenshot. And I want to go back and look at the comments and just make sure Tammy hasn't commented on anything. Okay, doesn't. Okay, cool. So I hope that makes sense, Mary. Mary. Awesome. I was also thinking too that A, even though it's a number 1, I was thinking of the word like the A for the alpha, you know, the alpha, the omega, the beginning and the end. It's like this could be a new beginning for you. You're welcome, Mary. Thanks for our chat the other day too on the phone. Also, if Karen's still here too, thank you for your chat with me too, Karen. You guys, Karen called me up just to check on me the other day and we had a lovely chat. And it was just really nice. So I just want to say thank you for that. It's nice to know, like, and I know that some of you are paying attention and that you guys do check in on me. And even though I give, like, let me switch cameras really quick. Hold on here. No, front. I do, Lake. I would love to. So don't mind my hair. I'm running my hands through it. I just want to say this, you know, I come on here trying to help you guys, and this is what I want to do for a living. This is what I feel like I'm supposed to be here doing for a living. This is what I want to help to change the world, even if it's one person at a time, by helping giving them hope, right? But what I want to say is that sometimes I don't always get it right, you know, in my own life, because I'm too close to the sort of the situation or the problem, or I'm too emotionally attached to it, just like all of you guys, right? I'm human too. And so it's this interesting thing. And when you guys stop and you take the time to like check in or ask me, or the notes that you leave me or the comments that you leave me, a lot of times I don't think you realize that like they do mean the world to me, because there's like, you know, I don't know. It means the world to me, because like sometimes I don't always I may have the answers for you, like in some time, and I don't have anybody's answers per se, but like I might be able to like help you see more clearly. But when I'm stuck in my own forest, I can't fucking see the forest from the trees. And so there's been some of you that have done that for me just through like hearing me out, talking to me, sharing with me, tuning in every day and talking to me about how you see the cards, all of that sort of stuff. It really helps me to make me feel like, even in a small way, hopefully I'm making a difference, right? Because ultimately that's what I feel like the only thing I want to do in life right now is I want to make a difference in this world, because this world to me feels like it needs, and it's not an ego-based thing. It's more like, I just feel like we need more people in this world wanting to make a positive influence or a positive change in this world, because there's so much shit going on that just makes me like feel like we need to be doing better. So, but sometimes it gets to me, and so I just wanted to say thank you to those of you that, you know, support me through viewership, support me through messaging me, checking in on me, because a lot of you did when I was sharing in some of my videos and stuff, just like, oh, it's been a rough time. I was getting messages from you guys, and I just say thank you very, very much. Okay. All right, so let's go back into this for Melanie. And we're doing the brioche camera. Okay, let me move this over. And Melanie, my dear, I need to know from you let me move this charm box for a moment. Where can I put it? Just so that we can have some space so she can see. Awesome, Lake. You'll be next. Thank you, dear. Here's another thing, and let me just ask you guys this. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what you guys might say. I'm going to flip the camera one more time, and I swear, Melanie, I will get to you. Just give me one moment. I should be doing this online more often, and I don't like to only because of this. I feel like when I come online, I feel like I'm hawking people to buy readings. Like I feel like a salesman, and I feel like I do it once a week mainly because I need to do my Patreon subscribers, but I don't know if I need to be on more often in the week to help build the business. But I need to stand firm in the fact that when I'm doing readings, they can't always all be free. Because that's the dilemma is like when I come on, even with the Bagua readings and all of that sort of stuff. So, and I also don't want to be like annoying everybody, right? And being like, oh God, here he is again, kind of thing, and feeling like I'm hitting people down. But this business isn't going to grow unless I'm on more often. And so it's this fine line of, do I get on every night or do I not get on, right? And then if I don't get on, not everybody's going to purchase a reading. So it's just sort of this thing where I'm arguing it out in my head. So you guys let me know maybe in the Anglo Guys group if you think me being on more often, you guys would watch or not. I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to flood your feeds with my face every night. All right. Hey, Miss Bonita. Thank you, Miss Bonita. I love that picture of the rose. That's beautiful. And I like that your name is Miss Bonita. I love it. So let me know at extended readings. I know you've been telling me to do that, David, Mary. I know, and I need to do it. I really want to. The whole point was I was trying to build the YouTube channel so that I wouldn't have to rely on private readings for income. I was hoping that it would grow, and then the banner ads would, sort of click in and be passive income, so that I can keep content free. And then those people that were seeking private readings from me could just naturally find their way to me. That's my goal. Versus I don't want to be like, you need to buy a reading, you need to buy a reading, but I need to get paid for what I'm doing, or else I'm not paying the bills. Anyways. I love roses too. They're very strong spiritual symbols. I use them in my meditations, actually. All right, so let me go to, I create and destroy roses and blow them up to put energy in them, to move the energy out of my space. All right, so let me go to the Brio camera. We're going to do Melanie's reading and then Lake's. All right, so Melanie, did you have a topic without giving me too much information? Just like maybe a one-word topic of what you would like the reading to be on? Mary, you have ribs? Where are you eating ribs, girl? Tarot Tuesday is a great idea, Lake. I think that's a really brilliant idea, actually. I just don't want to flood the market where I feel like I'm, hitting people down. Dreams and numbers is what you want your reading on? All right, we will try. Taco and Tarot Tuesday. I wish. That's true. I could go get tacos. All right, so let's see what dreams and numbers are about for Melanie Mann. I'm not sure what that's about, but we're going to see what's going on. Oh, anything I feel pulled to right away. Okay. General, I guess. All right, Melanie Ann, general reading. Let's see what's going on in her card. So Melanie, first off, like as I'm shuffling the cards, I feel a distinct tension, like a stiffness, like we're not relaxed as we normally would be. It's not like it's bad, it just sort of feels a bit rigid, like there's maybe a little bit of pressure of some sort going on in your life where you might feel like you need to manifest or control something a little bit more so than you normally do. Like you might normally like to be a little bit more laid back, a little bit more, but this feels that you have to sort of get in the driver's seat as I'm shuffling these cards, right? It feels a little bit more structured, less flexible. So let's see what's going on here. So this first card, sorry, my phone is ringing, guys. I'm not going to answer it though. So the first card is the center card. This tells me where you're centered at, and it tells me a little bit about not only where you're centered at, it's sort of like a snapshot of where you're at and operating from most of the time, but it also gives me insight into sort of what you could potentially be creating for the future. So this is the Page of Wands. Not necessarily a bad card. This is about wanting to take action. Wands is always about that fiery element of action. But pages are about there's something that we need to figure out first, right? There's some sort of learning that we feel as though either we feel as though we don't have it or we know we don't have it and we need to find it, right? There's a little bit of an investigation that needs to take place in the Page of Wands. There could be something sort of, how do I want to say this? Like maybe picking at your subconscious or your intuition, like you might feel like something's not right now or not completely correct. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're trying to suss it out. I kind of see him as the detective of the deck, right? And so pages usually come with enthusiasm and optimism, and Wands is about sort of, not only is it the element of fire and spirit, but it's also about sort of taking action and moving. But with this guy, I always get that he's always sort of, he needs one last bit of information before he can go forward, right? So when I'm thinking about that shuffle where things felt a little bit stiff or rigid, right? Or like controlled, like we might need to keep control, we may be holding ourselves back just a little bit in our center right now until we get all the information, until we know what everybody's up to around us, until we have all the facts, right? So like, and I'm just using this as an example, like say we're thinking about a promotion or term, like do I take a new job position at work? Not quite yet. I want to think about this. I want to look at, well, if I do that, what happens 3 steps down the line kind of thing. So let's look at the rest of the cards, and hopefully it's, you know, more of a story will come out here and I can specifically understand what you're holding back. You're not holding back, but what you're sort of studying here in the center before taking action, before what you need to learn about here. So this next card is the foundation. I use the analogy of a foundation of a house. This card is sort of, it indicates why everything is built the way that it is on top of this card. It's from the past. This card is the linchpin. It's the thing that's sort of driving everything into the future. It's also the memory of this card that holds everything into place. So this is the King of Swords. I love this card down here. So this says to me that Melanie usually in the past has been a right boss bitch. And I don't mean bitch in a bad way. I mean like you've been clear, you've been decisive, everything leading up to this point, or like at least in the past, you've been able to see very clearly and understand. This is what I need to do. This is how I'm going to do it. This is going to be the way it's going to be. Get the hell out of my way is kind of the feeling that I get with this card. I also like that he's driving you. I like that he's in this position. This is about making analytical thoughts free of emotion. And this is about understanding exactly what you're doing and making the right decision at the right time. That's why this page is sitting here sort of studying and going, okay, do I have all the information yet? Because in the past, having all the information has suited you in a very strong and powerful way, right? In other situations in your life. Now, when I look at this as the foundation of this, it says to me, you have a very strong, smart, intelligent, discerning foundation. So I feel like what else we're going to see in these cards today hopefully will be good, but let's just see where they go. So the next card is your spirit or soul card. This tells me a bit about where your spirit or soul is at and what it wants you to do. This is the Tower. Something needs to change, girl. When the tower is sitting up there, the tower is never a welcome card in most scenarios, right? Because it always means sort of the rug being pulled out from under us, right? And usually people fear the tower. But what I like about the tower is that the tower brings about change that we were unwilling or too fearful to bring about for ourselves. This being up in the spirit space doesn't mean, oh, my spirit's going to wreck my life. But this means that my spirit has been talking to me and telling me, ooh, I need to change this. I need to fix this. I need to do something different about this. And I also feel like this King of Swords down here knows, like this part of you from the past also knows and is discerning enough and smart enough to know that whatever it is that you have been up to of recent or whatever that you haven't changed, it's going to change. Like it's going to dismantle itself at some point because it's not built on, the tower's always built on faulty foundations, right? It's not a very strong scenario, whether it's a person, a relationship, a situation, it's always bound to kind of crumble to the ground. The thing is it needs to crumble because it's not in your best interest. This being in the soul space says to me, it's totally not in your best interest. And it also does say to me, and I don't want you to be fearful about this, but what I do want to say is this being up here says that if you don't do it, it will do it itself. Right? It's that kind of a thing because it's sitting up here in the soul space. It's almost like a warning from your soul saying, when things start to unravel or when things start to like change and shift, roll with it. This is part of the plan. We know what's going on. And the beauty of this is if things do start to shift around you in your outside environment in big ways, sometimes maybe even tragic ways, I like that this King of Swords is your foundation, which means you're cool under pressure, or you can be cool under pressure. You can think analytically. You can cut through the bullshit and make clear, concise decisions and be able to see your way through this without any problem. Okay. Now, the next two cards are what I call the outside influences. These are things that are around you. They're not of you. These cards can be either positive or negative, and they're affecting you right now, but they can also be, things like they can be people or events, but they can also be things more vague like belief systems or energies that are having an effect on you. So let's see what we've got. We've got the Judgment card, Major Arcana. So this is going to have a fat impact on you. This is the call. This is the call of this Judgment card is my feeling. This is sort of spirit. Now, remind you, this is outside of you, but I'm going to say this. Something is tugging at your soul, girl. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that like you're being called to do something different. I believe Judgment is associated with the sign of Scorpio. I could be wrong about that. And I cannot remember Tower, what its association is, what planet, or is it Mars? No. It might be Mars. I can't remember. But I kind of feel like these two might be in conjunction, right? Like, if you look really closely, there's this angel, right? It's the angel Gabriel, and he's blowing his horn, and everybody's kind of rising up. And to me, this is sort of almost close to the end of the cycle of the Major Arcana, right? So we're coming to an ending. We need to answer the call. The call is pretty obvious. It's going to be shown to us in the outside environment through experiences, people, places where it's like, okay, what do we do, Melanie? And you're being called to the carpet in the sense of like, okay, Paige, you may not feel like you know how to navigate this, but you're going to have to because it's coming. Does that make sense? You can, it's not that it has to be a negative thing. It's only change ultimately. That's what you need to remember. It's only shifting and changing. Sometimes we resist change because we're afraid of the unknown or what may come in its place, but usually we always look back to hindsight 2020 and realize that, you know what, I needed that change to happen because I never would have ended up here, right? So I feel like this is the answering of the call of that. This is sort of spirit also being around you to kind of help guide you in a very big and possible way. Let's see what this other card is. So we have the Eight of Wands. So Eight of Wands would also be fire element, wands being the fire element. This is about movement. This is about change. This can be about swift moving energy coming at you. I love how all of these wands are pointing at this Page of Wands. Before I do the final card, I am going to clarify all of these really quickly. It's just so I don't, because I got to get to Lake's reading. The Eight of Wands can sometimes be a sort of a love-like card. And it's interesting that the outside influences to me speak to this idea of the Eight of Wands and the Judgment card, because the Judgment card can also be about answering the call of love. And where I want to kind of go with this, and just entertain me here, Melanie, is if you're previously in a relationship or were in a relationship with a know-it-all kind of dude that could be the King of Swords, right, in the past, you might still be dealing with him a little bit, or you might even still be with him. There might need to be a change that you've been like aware of that needs to take place, that you're sort of trying to figure out how to go about making that change. And that change could be coming at you soon. Let's just say that the call's coming and the movement's coming, right? So I'm not sure yet because I haven't clarified it, but that's another scenario that could be going on here that could be happening. So I just want to make sure you know that this guy, the reason why I think this could be like an ex or a current partner, even though he's in the past symbol or in this past space, he's a bit of an authority, because usually court cards, this foundation is usually from the past, right? But court cards can represent people outside of ourselves. This position here would be our center. So this would be something that's within us. So we're instigating or thinking about new opportunities, taking new action in new areas of passion or desire in our life. That desire or passion could be about, you know, a new love relationship, a new job, a new whatever. But whatever it is, it's like it's almost like when I look at these cards, it kind of feels like we're getting out right now in the nick of time, whatever the situation may be, okay? Like we're being told by our outside influences, now's the time to go, get on, hurry up and move. He may not want you to move, right? But he's kind of like a little bit bossy anyways. All right, so let's clarify these really quick and we will see what we've got in the clarifiers. And that might give me more insight to what this situation is. And then I'll do the outcome card too, Melanie. So please clarify the Page of Wands. All right, so on the Page of Wands, I'm going to just separate these out a little bit, but let me make sure they're still in the camera so that you can see what's going on here. That's a little bit outside of the frame. I just want you to be able to see everybody and everything. Okay, so on the Page of Wands, we have the Magician. Somebody wants something new. Somebody wants to create something new. And I mean by what I mean by somebody, I mean you. I mean that this Page of Wands might be something that you're hiding behind. Yes, you might need some sort of information, some sort of understanding as to, you know, I need this one piece or this one understanding before I can move forward. But the Magician says to me, no, girl, you know how to move forward. You have everything you need. You can create something new. You can create the thing that you want. You really can trust your judgment. We have the Five of Wands. This could be a little bit of, this would indicate fighting, competitiveness, that sort of a thing. So you might be getting, that's why you're hiding behind this page. It's almost like you're dumbing yourself down in a certain situation, like in your life. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like to keep yourself out of trouble. Like I almost feel like this Magician is more truly you, Melanie, and the page is how you're representing. Like the Magician would even top this King of Swords, right? He would be stronger and more powerful than this King of Swords from the past, whether this is you or somebody else in your life. But the Magician, it's almost like you're hiding him behind the Page of Wands so as to not upset the Five of Wands, people that are around you that are wanting to like fuck around and like throw you off course, so to speak, right? So let's see what the last one is. And then we have the Three of Wands. Yes, this chick, and I'm saying chick meaning you, Melanie. I'm sorry, I get a little excited. This chick wants something different, and there should be expectation of something different, and it's something more that you desire that's more in line with who you are, what you want, and what you need in your life instead of the fuckery that's going on in this Five of Wands. I always call the Five of Wands the whole lot of fuckery card because they're just like all messing around in that card. But to me, it's like she wants to be left alone so that she can figure out clearly what it is she wants, because she has the capacity to create it with this Magician card. All right. So let's get into clarifying this King of Swords. All right, so for this King of Swords from the past, we've got the Six of Swords. I do think this is an X. I don't know why. Melanie, can you give me will you type in the chat, yes, X, if I'm correct that this is an X partner of yours, or you might even currently be with him, but somebody that you're considering to be an X or you might be splitting away from? Because I feel like that, and this Six of Swords would indicate moving to calmer waters. I can't deny any of this, Dan. This reading is amazing. Thank you, Melanie. But can you confirm for me? Because I just want to know I'm on the right track, because my gut is, yes, my ex-husband. Thank you, dear. All right. So this Six of Swords to me is moving to calmer waters, right? Separating, getting to a better place, hopefully. So let's see, the Eight of Wands, which we have here, we're moving towards something else. We were moving away from him, getting away from whatever this was about and moving towards something else. We see the 8 twice, right? So in moving away from him, this was more true to you and your desire, right? This, and I'm just going to say this 8 might be the same 8, or it could be 2 separate 8s. And what I mean by that is this 8 could be in the past, where in the initial move away from your ex and creating him into your ex, the authority that he is, like the controlling guy that he is, moving away from him moved you to a place that puts you in this position where you could be more excited, passionate, like happy about stuff, is my feeling with this Eight of Wands. That's what I'm hoping. And let's look at the next card. This is the Nine of Swords. Now, this could have been some sort of undue stress. This could have been the divorce. This could have been nightmares or worries, fears, anxieties. Now that I've left him, what do I do? But there is still this excitement of the Eight of Wands here. So I'm not going to get too much into this. It could have been a bad breakup too, where it took its toll on you. And even though you were moving to calmer waters, there might have been a moment where, like, oh shit, what did I do? Did I do the right thing? Or he may have made you feel guilty. This is like the nightmares, bad thoughts, things that aren't necessarily true per se, but they feel true because we can't get them out of our head. But this is all in the past, okay? So don't worry about that. And I like that this Eight of Wands, whether it's connected to this one or not, I feel like there sort of are a connection there. Like, this might have been the feeling that you first had, and then you slumped into this Nine of Swords. But now this new, fresh, like, doorways coming in where, okay, we've got some space. We're now in the Magician. We might be hiding ourselves out a little bit, but we're now in the Magician. So where do we want to be? What do we want to do? Let's get back into this energy and don't sink. This is in the past, but we don't want to get back into that worry, right? So now we're going to look at this Tower, because I want to know what this Tower is in the soul space. Very bad breakup for you. That would be that Nine of Swords for sure. But ultimately, that breakup isn't, it's for your best, is my feeling. Ultimately, I think that you're okay. So let's see what this Tower is about, because this Tower could represent as that bad breakup still lingering in your space. If it's sometimes, sometimes when we go through bad relationships or bad breakups, the wreckage can haunt us at a spirit level. Not that our spirit is haunted per se, but we might be haunted mentally, like this Nine of Swords. We might be haunted, and our spirit might want us to look at the wreckage of that and be like, okay, let's do some work on this part of ourselves. Because if we're holding ourselves back from finding new love or new appreciation for ourselves because of things of the past, we're actually doing ourselves a disservice and keeping the wreckage alive in our space. So let's look. We've got the Ace of Swords, clear thought, decision-making, new thought, excitement. So this to me is about a new beginning after whatever this wreckage is. This could be that messy divorce and not ever really having healed around it mentally. But I feel like this Ace of Swords gives you the right to do that, the opportunity to do that if you so choose. The Seven of Swords, he was a rat bastard. This is the liar, cheater, stealer card. Somebody may have cheated in this situation or lied, stolen, done something really wrong in this tower situation. There could be some guilt or some resentment on your end where you can't let them off the hook for that, or yourself. And I'm not here to judge anyone. If you were the cheater, liar, whatever, if you were this Seven of Swords, so you did what you did, but it's time to kind of let that go, right? It's time to do that work at the soul level, and whether it was them hurting you or you hurting them in that Seven of Swords, it's time to kind of let that go and find that clarity of the Ace of Swords so that you can be clear and free of this, and unburden yourself. And then the last card is the Three of Swords, which would be that heartache of the breakup, of the transgressions of this Seven of Swords, right? The one thing I love about the Three of Swords is the Three of Swords, to me, even though it's a graphic image, it's one of my least favorite images on here. Well, it's weird. I have a love-hate relationship with this card because I love the heart on it. It's a big, huge symbol of a heart, but the Three Swords always make me wince, right? But when I think about this, it's like I always think that these, as we do the work and we think about the thoughts that we have and the emotions that we have around those thoughts, and if we really pick through them and sit with them, we're slowly able to gently care for ourselves to remove each and every one of these swords or these daggers in our heart. And we're still left with this big, strong, beautiful heart and are able to love again at some point. So I think that that's kind of what's being said up here in the soul space, is like, let's do that work. Let's look at that tower fiasco. Let's get ourselves really clear. That would be the clarity of this Ace of Swords on who belonged to what, who did who to what, and then forgive ourselves on some level. This can also be very much about forgiveness, just with the focus of that heart there, right? So let's go to this Judgment card. So Judgment as an outside influence, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Big changes, new changes, material changes, changes of job, changes of home, changes of just things in material, but we need to step up to the plate. We need to be willing to take the risk. And it's a big payoff. It's a big opportunity for you, right? But if we're hiding in this Page of Cups and afraid to take the step, like saying, oh, well, I need that one bit more of information, or, oh, I need this, and we're not acting from the magician, it's like the magician can create this page. This Ace of Pentacles. We have the King of Pentacles. Ooh, girl. This is like the Divine Masculine. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. These three cards, coupled with the Judgment, say to me, girl, there is some shit out there for you waiting, waiting to come to you if you would just let it in. Yes, he cheated very bad. Okay, that's some of this. And that's about you releasing him and letting him go. Right? And that's my feeling there. And the sadness around that, kind of healing that. There's something here in this Judgment card where I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune, there's new opportunities and new paths. The Wheel of Fortune would always indicate sort of new paths and opportunities that we maybe we have to really focus on them and put our energy into them and allow that wheel move slowly, especially with both of these pentacles energies in front of it. This is going to be a slow process, right? But it's going to be to your benefit on a very grand scale. So I think that you would really like, I think that you really stand to benefit from this Judgment card. It just may take some time. Right? So be patient and allow yourself that time and be open to all of the things that can be brought to you, and stay mindful of keeping that positivity and that sort of focus on those positive things. Let's look at this Ace of Wands. And I'm not so sure that that King of Pentacles isn't another gentleman wanting to come in. Possible earth sign, which would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. He could represent as a new beau of some sort, whether you're ready for him or not. And that's up to you. So on this Eight of Wands. I have the Knight of Cups. That would be an offering of love. This would be a water sign, either Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. It could be. But I kind of get a feeling it's interesting too because you have the King of Pentacles over here. We have the Six of Pentacles, which is about charity and sort of sharing what you have when you have it. And we have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands to me is all about expectation. The Eight of Wands would be all about movement, fast moving energy, or things coming at you. The Knight of Cups would also be things coming at you. It could be an offering of love of some sort. I feel like if it is an offering of love or some sort of interest, romantic interest, it might not come in the most boldest of ways. That would be the Six of Pentacles there. That sort of slows things down. It could be moderate or very equitable sort of scenario or situation. The Two of Wands says to me that like the expectation should be there. The Two of Wands can also indicate a coupling, wands being that of fire and desire. So that could be the two of you coming together or somebody moving towards you in a way to want to couple with you. So I don't know if that's going on in your world. It's funny to me because I feel like this King of Pentacles could be like, I almost want to take him. It's sometimes the cards move for me, right? Like I feel like there's a story and like where the cards go. I feel like he's over here trying to formulate in this place, but I feel like he comes round this way and he goes here at some point. And that's when he starts to move towards you. He starts to make an offering of love. It's equitable. And then you guys consider the possibilities. So I know that looks weird or sounds weird, but that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from these cards. Now, I am going to pull the final outcome card. This is the card that lays on top of all of this. This card tells me a bit about sort of where things are going to end up, barring that nothing major changes, right? So it's not set in stone. It's just sort of the way that things are going. And if it's a negative card, we can take it as a warning and make choices and changes in our lives to affect the outcome. But if it's a positive card, we can take heart in the fact that we're naturally heading towards it and we don't have to do much to change it. Excuse me. So this is the World card. So the World is major arcana. This is about sort of the beginnings and endings. And what I think that this is about, first off, I want to say this. Do you see that woman depicted like she's sort of naked and vulnerable? She's not vulnerable, but to me, her nudity can represent vulnerability, being her true self, being seen for who she is. She's surrounded by this celebration wreath, and she's the center of her world. Right? She's like the focus of her world. She has all the different aspects of like, I think Taurus, Leo, some damn bird and some dude. I don't know who they all are, but whatever. She's got all of these like sort of the four corners like balanced within her. There's really a blessing to this card of feeling complete and whole at the end of all of this and understanding that your focus comes first, that you are, you should be sort of heralded, upheld, acknowledged, exalted, all of that, right? So let me see what her clarifiers are. I mean, regardless, whatever happens, I feel like this to me signifies an ending of completion that is very well-rounded and healthy and obvious, right? It's going to be obvious that, okay, with this cycle or this chapter, this X, these pains, this stuff, I am done. I am really, truly free and done and ready to move on to the next. We have that Judgment card again, which again, it calls out to us here, where we have this King of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Pentacles, slow moving energy, but still I'll take it. And let's see, we have the Ten of Wands, letting go of burdens. That's when she becomes naked and is floating in the sky in celebration, right? We're able to let go of the things of the past, the things that maybe caused us heaviness. The Knight of Pentacles does indicate that this process might be a little bit slower for you, right? And this Judgment feels like, to me, I kind of get the vibe that we have to reach this World section before this Judgment over here and this activity comes in, right? So we might need to put ourselves first and make ourselves the center of our universe and really take care of ourselves, starting to live as if we are the magician and lifting ourselves up and ending out these chapters emotionally of whatever old baggage we're carrying around, the sadnesses of the past and the pains of the past. As we let those things go, we become like this world card. That's when the judgment card begins to kick in and these outside influences begin to start to flow in towards you. And new relationships, new opportunities start to come. So I hope that makes sense. That is your reading. And I still have to do one for Lake, I believe. Awesome. I'm glad you hear it all loud and clear, dear. All right, Miss Lake. It looks like Karen sent money too for a Karen, did you want a charming or did you want a reading? Did you want cards or a reading? And then it looks like Miss Bonita has been gifted Lisa's charming, not Lisa's chat, Lisa's charming. So I need to do, I believe, Karen Singer. Hold on, sorry guys, I gotta get this. Karen Stringer, not Karen Singer. Lake. You're welcome, Melanie. You're very, very welcome. So how did these come in? 1 second. Let me just look here. So Karen Stringer, your Lake is up next. Then Karen Stringer. And then, is that it? And then Miss Bonita, I think, is how it's going to go. Is that everybody? Did I get everybody in there? I just want to make sure I got everybody because I've got all of these crazy emails. So I just want to make sure that I got everybody. Yeah, Lake. And then it looks like Karen and then Miss Bonita. You're welcome, Melanie. Thank you. I'm just wondering. Okay, Lake, cards, general. What does Spirit need me to know? Okay, perfect. Give me 1 moment. I'm just going to light a little Palo Santo, just clear the floor here. And Miss Bonita, you can have a charming like Lisa gifted you, or you can do a card reading. It's up to you. You just make the choice. And you'll go after Karen Stringer. And Karen, did you want a charming or did you want a card reading? That's what I wanted to know. Okay. All right. For general, for Lake. So, like, as I'm shuffling the cards for you, the feeling is that I'm getting like a sort of almost like a nervous energy. Not nervous in a bad way, just sort of like we're not our normal self right now. Like, I feel like maybe the pace is moving, requiring us to move faster than we normally like, or make decisions more quickly than we normally like. Nothing's wrong per se. It's just sort of like things feel more rapid than normal, than they have maybe in the past, or than we prefer them to. Does that make sense? Cards general. Okay, great, Karen. I hope that makes sense. Like, because it feels like a very like the cards feel sort of frenetic to me, like they're moving quickly, like we need to think on our feet, think quickly, quicker than we normally like to. Like in normal day-to-day life, we usually like to take more time to make our decisions, be more methodical, that sort of a thing. And this feels like it's faster. It's not like you're making bad or wrong decisions. It just feels faster to me. Okay. All right, so we're going to do the exact same spread. We're going to do the center, where you're centered at, your foundation, where your foundation's at, your higher self or spirit card, and then 2 outside influences, things that could be affecting you either positively or negatively. And we will do clarifiers and all of that. So your center gives us insight into what you could potentially be creating for the future, also where you're at mostly in the now. You can also, just so you guys know, you can go in and out of this card. So you're not always in this space, but it gives me a good insight as to what you're mainly operating from. So let's look and see what we've got. We've got that 8 of Wands. So this would speak to that fast-natured energy, although Wands has to do with the spirit and desire and taking action. This energy, when I was shuffling the deck, felt more mental to me, right? Like decisions needing to be made quickly, thoughts moving quite quickly, your mind maybe racing, that sort of a thing. But this would indicate that movement, right? Maybe decisions are being made right now around moving or changing things, right? This could be around stuff that we desire, stuff that we care about, stuff that we love. And that's the intensity of why we feel like we're like not racing against the clock, but it almost has that feeling to me, right? Where it's like, we got to move, we got to move, we got to move, we got to get it done. There could be change coming in with this card. This card can also sometimes indicate travel. So we could be indicating a move. We could be indicating or contemplating the possibility of like changing jobs, moving homes, that sort of a thing. But this would be where your center's at. I don't feel like this is a bad card per se, but I don't feel like this is a steady card, right? It might feel transitory, and that might feel a little bit uncomfortable. And that was sort of the mental aspect of like things moving more quickly than I would like. I want, like, and when I say I want, I'm feeling like I'm talking for you in a way. I would want things to be more like steady with the changes, not the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is moving really quickly, right? So we'll get into that later and see where we're moving towards and the clarifiers and why. But there is an aspect of desire to this that I do like, and usually the 8 of Wands is a welcome card, and it's never got a bad connotation. I just feel like, you might want to keep your mind or ego might want things to just be like day-to-day normal. This card's like, no, we're moving. Like, no, we've got to change this. No, this has got to change too. And so you might be, I don't want to say struggling with that, but adapting to that, right? And settling into that, because this is you might find yourself more busy than normal. This would be a busyness card too, like being busier than you normally are, or would normally say like to be. Now, the next card is the Foundation. This is the card from the past that indicates what's going on in the foundation and holding everything together. Could potentially be pushing everything, holding everything in place. This is the Hanged Man. Now, this is Major Arcana. This is a significant card, right? Major Arcana has a bigger impact. This being in the foundation is the antithesis of this card. This card is about movement. This card is about being stuck. This card is from the past and it's Piscean energy, right? So it can be very emotional. It usually comes with its own fair set of spiritual awareness and awakening. What I will say is that we've moved away from this card in the past where we may have felt stuck in stuff and we are now moving forward. We might be moving forward at a quicker pace than we expected or ever thought possible. We may have been stuck in this in the past for quite some time and we got comfortable there, if that makes sense, right? But whatever we learned there in the past, it has enabled us to be able to sort of move with this. Although we might have become comfortable sitting in one place for a long time. Does that make sense? And so as you're waiting, you're like, okay, well, this isn't, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. But now we're like, sort of like, okay, I got to move on, or I've got to change, right? Or things have got to change. Or maybe this could indicate something moving towards you too, but we'll see about that in the clarifiers. Now, this is the Spirit or Soul card. This is telling you what your spirit or soul is working on and where it's coming from. So this is the Four of Pentacles. Talk about guarded. Let me see here. Four of Pentacles can indicate being sort of stingy or miserly, but in the spirit space, to me, that's not even really a spiritual principle. Like, I don't believe spirit can be stingy per se. What I think that's going on here is I feel like you might be guarded on some level at the spirit level. I feel like this hang up down here in the past really might have not wounded you, but challenged you in a way that you're not so sure you want to put yourself all the way out there, especially as you're moving forward so quickly, or as you're looking to movement or change, looking for movement and change. You're kind of like, yes, I want the movement and change, but no, I don't want to be hurt by it, or no, I don't want to be too affected too deeply, too quickly. So this to me doesn't feel like a bad card. It just feels like a sense of protection, like putting an extra layer of protection on at the spirit level. Also, I will say this speaks a little bit to that idea when I was shuffling the deck about wanting things to move more slowly or be more grounded, and that's your natural state. This card being up in the spirit space speaks to the idea that your spirit would like you to stay a little bit more even-keeled right now. Not that you're not even-keeled, but, keep perspective, keep balance, don't go like, not that, I don't want to say like don't go crazy, because I don't feel like you're going crazy, but I feel like it is about sort of maintaining one's sanity in a way, or maintaining one's steadiness in a way. And there's a reminder there from your spirit to be able to do that. Don't necessarily, I almost want to say, don't make yourself vulnerable to everybody and anything around you. And this 8 to me feels very open, right? Like it feels like it's wanting to move through the world really quickly and experience a ton of stuff. And this 4 says, no, let's hold off. Let's not move, but let's be careful about, like, how do I want to say this? Like how fast we move, or how, does that make sense? Because both of these, the interesting thing is both of these two cards are cards that to me indicate being held in position. This by our own, what am I trying to say? This not by our own will, and this by our own will. Does that make sense? Like he chooses to sit here like this. He's not choosing to be stuck here. He's stuck here until he can figure out the answer to his problem. But somewhere you figured out that answer, is my feeling, and now you're able to move forward. So your spirit is just kind of indicating like, okay, that's great, but let's be careful. Like let's not like get ahead of ourselves, so to speak. The next two cards are the outside influences. Again, these are people, places, sometimes belief systems or energies that could be affecting us. Let's see what we've got going on. We have the Queen of Wands. We call her the Beyonce card. She's the woman of fire. She's the element of fire. She's also the element of action and spirit. She can be the life of the party. She's a very buoyant, wonderful, fiery energy, but we want to be careful. We don't want to piss her off. She can also be very sort of vindictive if she needs to. She's the kind of woman, like the way that I see it is she's the kind of woman that likes to know the rules so she can then break them to suit her needs. Not necessarily at the detriment of others, but she will bend the rules or challenge them in a way to get whatever it is she needs. You could be dealing with an older woman that has to do with the fire sign realm, like Aries, Leo, or Sag. Hold on 1 second. It's funny to me. I wonder if she's an ex-wife of somebody. I don't know why. And I wonder if he's somebody that's stuck in a relationship with her. I don't know why I feel that way. And you're kind of on hold. Can you give me a yes on that? Does that make any sense to you at all? Like, is there somebody that you maybe were sort of interested in, but they couldn't quite get away, so you've decided to move on, and there might have been a woman on their end? I mean, not to like call you out or anything like that on on live, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of was just all of a sudden seeing a different, like a storyline where you might have been moving towards this person that was stuck, and you can't because she's there. Sorry, my dogs are snoring. I'm just waiting for Lake to respond, guys. Lake, are you there, dear? I'm not sure if she's still there. I'm going to flip the other outside influence and wait for her response. So we have the Emperor on the other side. So I would say both of these are beneficial outside influences, unless this story that I have an inkling that there might be a man from the past that was stuck. Kind of, yes. Okay. All right. So because she wants to look at the reason why I say is she's looking away, right? She's sort of like in the outside of this outer realm, but like she's somebody that maybe we don't want to piss off or bother is my feeling. I'm not 100% sure. The Emperor to me would indicate sort of like beneficial father energy. It could be a person outside of you, but it's also the element of Aries. It would be about getting things done, doing things for the right reasons, raising to a higher standard, making sure that we show up at our highest and best, right? But the Emperor is always benevolent and will bring us sort of what it is we need. It could be high hurdles. There could be some challenges this month that the Emperor presents, but you have to sort of rise to those challenges. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It just sort of is what it is. I'm going to start to clarify these cards and see what's going on even more. So for this 8 of Wands, can we clarify? All right. So we have the King of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. This is weird because that was on that other reading in that same order. and the Lovers. Ooh. Lake's trying to move towards somebody. I mean, to me, the King of Pentacles would be sort of the divine masculine. The Wheel of Fortune is kind of, it's still a little bit up in the air, but the Lover speaks to this idea that it does sort of feel like bonded or intense. There is a reality there. The 8 could indicate love coming towards us or us moving towards love with this King of Pentacles. I don't know if this King of Pentacles is still this Hanged Man, though. So I want to clarify this Hanged Man and find out what's going on. Lake, can you confirm for me, are you sort of interested in someone right now? Just give me a yes or no, please. You don't have to say anything more than that. Just give me a yes if there's a certain particular gentleman you might feel as though you could potentially be moving towards. So we have the Ace of Swords, which would be truth, the Hierophant, and the Page of Swords. What I feel like this is I feel like this is sort of truths or like people being honest to a fault, and then also maybe keeping truths from you or not necessarily telling you everything. It's also not like, to me, the Hierophant is about being socially acceptable. And so I feel like whoever this person was or whatever this time was during the past, it may have not been able to, it wasn't working for you on some level, even though there is clarity here. There's new thought, there's new ideas, there's new opportunities to sort of get yourself out of here. But like in an effort, you might have stayed in this or followed this or stuck with it because you thought it was sort of maybe the right thing to do, right? But on some level, you weren't being told the whole truth. You weren't like, you weren't, I don't know if you were not telling yourself the whole truth or you were being a little bit naive. You were sort of like giving them the benefit of the doubt, maybe on some level, and that was causing the hang up. Times where you've been heartbroken and there's been times where you've been stuck, and from all of this stuff where it comes in, it's like we're not really sure we want to put ourselves completely out there on the spirit level, right? We've kind of like hold back or keep our it just says like, I almost want to say like, don't be too trusting, like that's sort of my feeling with that Four of Pentacles. It's like, don't sort of trust people due to sort of the scenarios you've been through. Like there's a hard, there's an inability to fully or easily trust people because of what's gone on maybe in your past. Let me move this all over just a little bit. And so to work through that or to stay stable in that, that Four of Pentacles is kind of keeping you grounded and looking at it from that perspective. And then with the Queen of Wands, we have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Four of Wands. And we have the High Priestess. This is a really strange run of cards because to me this feels like a really beneficial run of cards. Only except for this high priestess makes me feel like there's some sort of secret. And the thing is it's hard to do this with this many clarifiers with so little information, and you're saying yes and no, which is fine. And you're telling me it's hard to answer without context and details given. And I understand all of that. But the thing is if the story that I'm telling about this guy being hung up from the past and you can't be with him because he might be with another woman, or she might be in the picture, or there's another woman in the picture, then that kind of makes these cards a little bit screwy to me. And so that's where I'm sort of not sure if I can't, because these to me feel all very beneficial. Although the high priestess is extremely secretive, so I'm trying to think, where could this Queen of Wands also play out in your life? But I kind of got this distinct hit that this Queen of Wands was attributed to this Hanged Man. And she's an outside influence, right? So this could be, if this isn't a particular person, right? It could be somebody here that's to help you versus an ex of this man here. This could be somebody here that's to help you by showing you sort of ways to get out of a situation that you maybe have been in the past. She might be there assisting you to sort of better yourself. She's showing you ways through the Ace of Pentacles, through the Four of Wands. She might even be showing you some of her stronger feminine sort of like spiritual secrets that is empowering you in some level. At first, I kind of got this impression that if she's the other woman of this gentleman down here and he's from your past, you kind of don't want to mess with her. But I actually feel like this may, if this is not the case, she could be somebody that's actually here to really help you. Does that make sense? Sorry, I understand my feet is bouncing, and my dog is snoring like up a storm. Bodhi, wake up. Bodhi. Hey, bud, wake up. Yeah, that's not waking. That's a half snore, Bodhi. That's a half snore. Oh my God. Anyways, so this could be a beneficial female in your life that's actually showing you something, right? It's hard to tell though, because it seems like there's a lag on your comments to know if I'm going in the right direction. So it's hard to feel connected. On the Emperor, we've got the Queen of Swords, we've got the Judgment card, and we've got the Knight of Pentacles. I don't know what this is. I feel like this is parents. I feel like this is the judgment of parents. I don't know why, but I feel like this run of the judgment of parents is what's going on. I feel like whatever's going on here could be considered impetuous by whatever's going on over here, right? Because we have this Judgment card, the Knight of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. And I don't feel like it's both parents, but I feel like this could be like your father. And would he judge you for moving in the way that you're moving towards in your center, in the way that, in the actions that you're taking, in the decisions that you're making? Would he be in line with them? Let me see. There is an ex who I still have strong feelings for that pops in and out of my life. He plays with my heart and opens up old feelings. And okay, so that's all of this up here. And so we don't want that. And that might be this too, because whether this is the Hanged Man, this is the ex or not, he's either tying you up, he's tied you up in the past, and he's still continues to tie you up. And it's not like, it's not a good thing. And I don't know if if you have an ex and that you're still moving towards, like if that's this King of Pentacles, where you still feel like he might be the one, because we've got this Lovers card here in the Wheel of Fortune, like, oh, if things were only different, if things would only change, blah, 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 then maybe we could be like the Lovers and things would be good again. I'm not so sure about that. You may have a good girlfriend over here that might be either slightly talking you into it, but also trying to maybe help you find a way out of it. And this one here, thanks, Mary, for coming on in and making it back about your reading, dear. I really appreciate that. Thank you. You could have sent me that message privately, Mary. Thanks. And this here is about I feel like this is your parents, like maybe passing judgment on whatever it is that you're doing here in the center. Like you could be making a mistake. I don't know if any of that makes sense to you. Like, oh shit. Hold on. Just pulled down my calendar. My mom would be that I am currently married. Okay. Where did that thumbtack go? Because I do not want the puppy to eat the thumbtack. 1 second, guys. There it is. So this would be your mom. Does your mom know about your feelings about this ex that keep popping up in your head? My mom would be feeling that I am currently married. He does. She does. Okay. So would your mom be this side of the reading or this side of the reading? Because this feels like somebody that could potentially be judging you and telling you maybe not to do it or not, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like this feels like more the prim and proper side. This person feels like they might be egging you on and saying, oh yeah, you never know. It could work. It could be this. It could be that. Sort of this side feels more open-minded to the idea of entertaining the thoughts of, I don't know, this person. I mean, I get that you're married, like, but like when I'm looking at this reading, I'm trying to understand. This here feels like, are you, like, maybe we need to message this back and forth personally, because maybe this is too personal of a reading to have online where the public can see it. But she would want me to stick with my current relationship. So I think that's this side here. But I feel like, I don't feel like you want to. Like, that's my honest opinion. I feel like this tells me that, like, you're trying to move towards something different, something that's more compelling or exciting or something to me, right? That feels more intertwined and love related. And I feel like this is some sort of influence outside of you that tells you that there is a possibility here that it could be something more than what you already have. That's my feeling. But I don't necessarily know that that's, but then your spirit feels like fearful or careful or, you know, isn't sure it wants to move. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go to the outcome card. Okay. The outcome card is the Three of Swords. So that's the pain card, right? That heartache and pain. So let's clarify that. I might need to talk to you offline, Lake, to kind of better understand this reading for you, because I kind of feel like I'm having a hard time connecting just from the answers that I'm getting from you, because I feel like it's a little bit vague. And I'm having a hard time pinpointing who everyone is. It might be because I'm tired, or it could be just because we're online and stuff, and it's hard to do this via text message and stuff. And it's also very personal in nature, so that could be the reluctance here, or the disconnection. But you asked for whatever, general, whatever spirit wants you to know. So this is what's coming out. So 3 of Swords followed by the 5 of Swords, which would be a win that comes at a loss. The Empress, which would be about creativity, fertility, sort of, to me, the divine feminine. You couldn't get a more feminine card there. She could be about rebirth. She could be about, creativity. And we get strength. Fuck. Because this to me does not feel like a very strong, even though the strength card is there, it doesn't give me a direct hit on which guy or which situation you need to pick if you're picking between 2 situations. Because what I cannot tell is, who is this? Is this the ex, or is this the man you're with? Is this the ex, or is this the man you're with? There's 2 different men here, is my feeling. And it's like one of them maybe isn't sort of the best, or has kept you feeling stuck, and one of them is far more exciting and you feel more compelled and connected to via the Lover's card. And whatever that is, the desire is there, and it's moving quickly towards it, or wants to move quickly towards it, is willing to sort of take the risk of the Wheel of Fortune. This to me could be the relationship you are in currently, and it may just feel old and stale a little bit, right? It also, the Hierophant can indicate marriage. So if you're currently married, this could be the guy that you're married to. Only you can answer, and I'm not expecting you to answer here in a live chat room whether or not you're in love with your husband versus some other person. But I kind of feel like this says to me there might be some heartache that has to happen. There might be some fighting, and those fights might come at a loss or at a sadness. But ultimately, you end up in your truth, in believing who you are, and it's going to require you to be strong. That's my feeling. And so I'm kind of like, it makes me indicate more towards, I don't even know if this is like towards new guy or just towards taking care of yourself in wherever you're at and whatever you're at and whatever you're doing. Does that make sense? Because I don't want to give you any one sort of decision like, oh, you need to leave this person and go to this person, because I don't think it's that simple of an answer, right? And it's only an answer that you can sort of answer. But, and then this is somebody over here that I feel like there's just some chick over here that like is like a girlfriend or somebody that's like telling you go for it, or some feeling, outside influence, like something that brings the 2 of you together from time to time that makes you think like maybe he's the one and I made a mistake. That's kind of my feeling. Because we also have the Twin Flame card over here, or what some people refer to as the Twin Flame card, which is the 4 of Wands. So it's interesting to me because I feel like this person over here kind of believes it, or helps you to believe it, or entertain the idea. Thanks, Ellen Jane. No problem. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, we can talk about this offline, and I can tell you a little bit more once I can hear more details about what's going on in your life where it's not so public, and I can tell you a little bit better about maybe what's going on in these cards, but without knowing some of the details, it's hard to really assess what these cards are saying fully because I don't know. There's a little bit of vagary happening here, and I think that that's partially because, we're public right now, and that's totally acceptable and fine. You got it? Awesome. All right, so let's do Karen, and then we're going to do Bonita, Miss Bonita, and then I am done for the night because I'm getting a little fried. Karen, you said general, yes? Is Karen still here? She should be. And please, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. I need subscriptions, guys. Please, if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, if you're watching on YouTube, you will get notified when I go live and do this stuff again. And if you're watching on the Facebook business page, follow it, hit like, and you'll get notified when I go live over there. Okay, perfect, Karen. Thank you. All right. Okay. All right, Karen said general too, I believe. So let's see what's going on with Karen generally. I like the feeling of the cards. They don't have any real distinctive. They feel rather precise and clean to me, Karen, as I'm shuffling them. So nothing really sticks out. Nothing major, at least. So that might be a good thing. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. So our center is the Empress. No wonder why they feel good and clean. Okay. Look at her just sitting there. Empress of Love. Good, Miss Bonita. You'll be next, dear. All right, look at this woman sitting here in Empress of Love energy, right? She's associated with the sign of Taurus and the planet Venus. She is about mothering and nurturing, right? Self-care, putting oneself first. She has a connection to nature. She has a connection to the world around her. There's just a beauty and an opulence to the Empress, a kindness. Putting oneself first, ideally, would be a great energy that should be going on for you right now, Karen. I hope. To me, I feel like she's also card number 3, which always takes me to that space of the mind, body, spirit. So hopefully we're honoring ourselves in that way. I love that she sits here as your center, because when I talk about this card, sometimes indicating what we could, not only where we're at most of the time right now, but what we could be potentially creating for the future. She would be all about creation, right? She would be all about bringing forth fruitfulness and abundance in her life in really positive, wonderful ways, that in ways that she would enjoy and know how to nurture and bring sort of to life, right? She's the quintessential kind of mother card. And so I like her as your center. She's also major arcana. So I would say that this is a significant period for you right now, where if you're focusing on self-healing, if you're focusing on self-care and putting yourself first, keep doing it, that it's having a rather significant impact, even if you don't realize it all the time, if that makes sense. Like, if you feel like you're being selfish, it's okay, be selfish. It's the Empress. You're allowed to be. It's not that she's a selfish card. She's indulgent, right? She deserves the best. She deserves to be treated with kindness and care and love and all of that sort of things. And those are the things that she gives out in return, right? So I like that she is your center. So this is a really beautiful place to be centered at right now. Now, if you're going to say, like, he's crazy, my life is falling apart, I don't know, you need to center in this Empress energy and understand that it's all okay, that you're fine right where you sit, and just to sit in it and be with it. Next card is the Foundation. This tells me about what's going on in the past that led you to this point, and it could be what's holding everything in place. This is the Three of Cups. Now, Three of Cups is about celebration. Hold on, I'm going to kick my dog out because the snoring is just like, it's like Darth Vader on a you know, with asthma. Oh, see, I get up and you get quiet with the snoring. Yeah, because you know you're about to get kicked out. You're about to get kicked out of the room. All right, he's going to be quiet for a minute. We'll let him stay. If he starts snoring too loud, let me know. All right, so Three of Cups is about celebration, nostalgia. There's also a very feminine power to the Three of Cups. We have these three women. And it's interesting, too, because I'll say there is a pattern here. We have the Three of Cups and we have the Three of the Empress, right? 3 and 3. 33 is a master number. I like that there's a focus on feminine power in both of these. I like that this is from the past, right? This reminds you of the good old days, right? This reminds Karen of the times when she felt empowered, when she felt good, when she felt loved, appreciated, cared for, and she was able to give that love, appreciation, and care back to others. Now, what I'm going to say is the difference is here, this love, appreciation, and care is on herself at this time, or should be on you, right? Because we only have a singular woman here. But this love, appreciation, and care from the Empress, to me, feels much, much stronger than the love and the appreciation that you may have experienced in the past in this Three of Cups, right? The celebration and all of that sort of thing. To me, it's like this signifies like Karen's kind of grown up a little bit, right? And although we have to kind of take care of ourselves, we have this great sort of abundant prosperity or party card in a way as our driving force, right? So ultimately, these three ladies down here in this card are going to push us and promote us from as a reminder from the past that there were better times in the past, and we will get back there. And in doing so, or in the pursuit of getting back there, the Empress, through taking care of ourselves and being good to ourselves and holding ourselves to the highest standard kind of thing, we'll be able to nurture these opportunities back into our life in bigger, probably more, what's the word? More not prominent ways, but more not realistic, more, what's the word? Not truthful. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the word, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired. It's been a rough couple of weeks. More, not validated. I'm looking for a specific word. I guess more honest ways, or more, honest isn't the right word either. Like this to me is you like not partying, but like you enjoying your friends in the past and feeling connected and loved and all of that sort of wonderfulness. This is you feeling that for yourself right now. But as you sort of work with this energy and you have this as your driving force, you're going to create this, but at a much more profound level through her. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining that correctly because I'm a little bit daffy right now. But that's that Three of Cups, three major arcana card Empress, right? They're in the same like wheelhouse in a way. So channel that divine feminine energy within you, channel it solely for you, and then allow that to sort of branch out into your life and sort of create some of this warmth again, but at a much more grander, bigger, realer scale for you than you've had in the past. All right, so the next card is the Spirit or Soul card. This tells me what your spirit or soul is looking at, your higher self, what it wants. This is the Eight of Cups. This is about being done, girl. Like, to me, we've got the Eight of Cups and we've got the Three of Cups, right? And I love that we've got all of this emotion around this wonderfully grounded Empress, right? Because she's definitely got a connection to nature, which gives her, Bodhi, wake up, please. That gives her that earthiness to her, but she's also got that Venusian or Venus energy too. So Venus, Taurus kind of thing. I kind of see her as very connected to the earth. So she grounds you right now and keeps you steady. But up here in the spirit space, this is about healing those wounds and really being complete with them. Really being like, you know what, I'm okay where I'm at. I've done what I've needed to do. I've felt what I've needed to felt. I've explored the things I've needed to explore. and really come into balance with our emotions, and then be able to let go of the things that we no longer need at a spiritual level or at a deeper level, so that we can also get back to not just this card, but get back to a deeper sense of that this through the action of this as our center. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. The next two cards are the outside influences. And again, I'll do clarifiers, so just give me a moment. We have the King of Swords. This would be a gentleman, usually a gentleman of the air sign variety. That would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, usually an older guy, very decisive, very analytical, not very emotional, very honest, could be a little bit blunt, maybe a decision maker, could be a boss of some sort, could be I don't necessarily see the King of Swords as a prick, but he can be a little bit my way or the highway. I think all of the kings can be, but I don't mind him there. I think he might be an asset to you. He might be a helper to you. He's going to be very much a thinker, right? I almost get a feeling, I want to say either, how do I want to say this? I don't want to say you don't know him yet, but you might be in the process of getting to know him, right? This could be somebody with contracts. This could be like a lawyer. This could be somebody, I kind of get that sort of a feeling. So keep an eye out for him. I feel like he's here to help her. He wants to honor her. I feel like this lady that she may not be asking for his help, but he wants to come and help her, is the feeling that I'm getting. So let me go to this. So this is the Seven of Cups. Again, we've got all of this water energy over here, and then we've got Captain Analytical over here. So thank God for Captain Analytical, let me tell you. The Seven of Cups would indicate confusion, one too many choices. Now, this being an outside influence, be careful about what you do choose as you're moving forward. Things that may come at you might sound good or seem good, and they may not be as good as they look or feel. Or they might feel good in the moment, and then you get them, and then they're like, ooh, that wasn't as great as I thought. That's kind of the Seven of Cups. So I would be careful of this card. I don't like this card. I'm just going to be honest with you up front and let you know that. This could be emotional ups and downs that are coming at you through others. I do know a little bit about your situation because we've talked in the past, Karen. I feel like this could be your ex, or sort of scenarios that kind of take place surrounding your ex. And because of that, it wants to seep in and fuck up this steadiness, this beauty, this sort of like centeredness that we have here. I feel like homeboy over here is not going to let that happen with you. Like, I feel like he'll step in and kind of cut these things away if need be, if you allow his assistance and help, right? So I think that he's here to help you. Let's look at the clarifiers and see what's going on. So with this Empress, please. Oh, my dog. He spends his whole life sleeping, the lucky bastard. I love him to death, though. All right, on this Empress, we have... Okay. The Hierophant. So total strength. I would say the Hierophant's a pillar card. He's associated, I believe he is Taurus, I think, too. She's actually Venus, but I associate her also with Taurus because Venus and Taurus are closely interlinked in astrology. She's not technically Taurus, but I say that about her because she's so abundant and connected to the earth, too. That's my little cheat, but I think he is Taurus. And he's about social acceptability. He's about strength. He's about higher knowledge. He's about wisdom. So remaining strong. And also, I will say this, he will be very compelling to this King of Swords. So if you don't know who this King of Swords is yet, Karen, keep an eye out for this King of Swords, or if it's somebody that's like in your periphery that can help you analyze and solve problems, make clear decisions, he's going to appreciate this nature in you, right? This sort of balance and strength that's in there. Also, another major arcana. We have the World, So we're talking about completions or endings and new beginnings. Again, another major arcana in your center right now, Karen. So like this to me speaks to this is a very significant period for you, even if you don't realize it or if it doesn't feel significant. Things are going on as long as you're holding yourself to this sort of high Empress standard. And it's not even a high standard, but as long as you're caring for yourself and doing the right thing, doing like the socially acceptable thing as far as what the Hierophant says, like using your higher mind and all of that, you're bringing an ending. And again, this is that same design of that vulnerable woman in that celebration wreath with all of that help around her and all of that balance. This is a really beautiful center to have. Let's see the third. This is the Fool. Okay, new beginnings. Girl, woo, this is a powerful center. It's all major arcana. So if you're not aware, hold on, I gotta kick this dog out. Bodie, honey, Bode, do you want to go lay in the bed? Bode, Bodie, wake up, babe. Bodie, hey, yeah, I know you're moving your head. I can hear it. Get up. Come here, Baba. Come here. Not you, kitten. Bodhi. All right, well, I stopped him for a minute. Anyways, I'm going to say this. If you're not aware of what's going on for you right now, I feel like it's extremely significant. The Fool is all about new beginnings. The Fool is about taking the new journey, taking the new steps, not being afraid, moving forward without any fear, being careful, being mindful, like paying attention, right, to what next steps are happening, but also being brave enough to take those steps, right? There's this fine line between the naivete of the Fool and the boldness of him, right? Because when we're no longer afraid, we're able to take those steps into moving down new paths, new avenues, all of that. But we do also want to make sure that we're not being naive. I love that you have the World right after the Fool. So you have the last card followed by the next card in the major arcana. So you are technically completing a fucking cycle right now, is what that's telling me. Like in no uncertain terms, we have the completion and the re-beginning of a new story happening for you, my dear. Like a brand new story on its way. So we're turning over a new leaf, and the cards couldn't be any more like obvious or clear about that right now. So let's clarify this Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups is the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands. Oh, this was a good time for you, and the Ten of Pentacles. Times were good in the past, let's just say that. And it's maybe hard to let those things go. And that's why we see that reluctance here in the Eight of Cups a little bit. It's not necessarily reluctance, but there is a mourning that's happening here in the spirit. I feel like this time of celebration and appreciation, things were abundant, things were good, things were passionate, things felt good. It was all new and on fire. I get a feeling that like these things here, this may have been a while ago, right? For you. I will say this though. This run of cards being sort of the foundation says to me that good things are to come also. Maybe not like this, but I really honestly, with all of these major arcana here, feel like they're going to be better than what this was. So even though you may have felt or sensed a loss, that we see that up in here, if we sense the loss from the past and the memories of the past and going, oh, I don't want to give that up, I can't believe, where did I go wrong, or where did that go wrong? And it's not just, I will say this is not just about your ex, Karen. I feel like this is about like friendships and camaraderie, and there's like a lot of different things in here, abundance, security. There's a lot of different elements to this run of cards that were going on here where you felt connected spiritually to what was going on in your life at that time and how things were transpiring and how things felt. And so that's hard to like sort of watch transform and change, because you kind of think, hey, I don't need anything more. Right? Like, I'm good here. This is great. But everything changes. Nothing stays the same forever. death is inevitable, change is inevitable, right? And so these things had to change, but there's also new changes that are taking place that can be just as powerful, just as wonderful, and just as impactful as the time from the past that we sometimes maybe mourn or miss. I do love that this is your foundation, though, meaning that you know that that exists, you know that you can get back to that and even more if you try. So let's see what we've got going on in that Eight of Cups. So for the Eight of Cups, we have the Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, you truly love them, and the Five of Swords. The Three of Pentacles would indicate not only camaraderie, but like sort of coming together and in a singular purpose, right? It's that sort of idea of community, that idea of everybody bringing their own sort of special skill to the table and getting great things done together. And then that Ace of Cups would indicate that sort of love, right, at the spirit. The Five of Swords would indicate, like sort of like I said in previous readings, that is sometimes a fight or an argument, a battle that comes to pass, and maybe although you won the battle, it doesn't really feel like a win. It actually is like it's a loss. It hurts, right? And when I look at this, I feel like what this says to me, especially with that Eight of Cups as the lead, is that even though the things that you've been through, it's like I still see love in these cards, right? For those that have wronged you, or for those that have harmed you, or for those that like maybe didn't work. And I see that not only in the Three of Pentacles, but also very much so in the Ace of Cups, and even in the forlornness of the Eight of Cups. It says to me, although we may have to part ways, and although I may be angry at you, there was a time when I loved you, is kind of like what I feel like I want to say. Even if you did me wrong, right? Even if it was like it wasn't fair, or if it was, and this might be something, I just want to say, this may not just be in reference to your ex. This could be in reference to many of your relationships, Karen. Is I kind of get a feeling that you've always sort of been a nurturer and a lover, not a fighter. And that's this Empress energy that we have here. That's this celebratory Three of Cups energy that we have here in the past. It's just like almost sort of putting others before us, right? And really truly doing that, not for any other ulterior motives, just really truly doing that so that we can explore and enjoy them and love them for who they are. That's the Three of Pentacles too, is that collaboration that comes from that. So when those collaborations or those connections emotionally fall apart or disconnect, it's hard on you. It's not easy. And so this is about sort of just acknowledging that. I feel like your spirit wants you to acknowledge that and to understand the beauty of that and the grace of that, and how not a lot of people do that, right? There's not everybody operates in that way. Not everybody appreciates people in that way, even after the fact, even after they've been wrong. It's not to say that you let them back in and wrong you again, but it is to say that there is a beauty and a sense of your spirit that allows you to sort of heal from these things and move on. So let's look at this King of Swords. I'm interested to see who the hell he is. Come on, King of Swords. Oops, that card flipped, so sorry. So we have the Ace of Swords. We have that Seven of Cups. And we have the Six of Cups. This is the guy, I'm going to say this, Karen, and I don't know. I know you and I talked offline the other day, and maybe we need to talk offline again, but I'm going to just give you what my gut is telling me, and I don't know what your exact situation is. I know that there's stuff going on around where you're at, and are you moving, and and all of this sort of stuff. I feel like this guy, like I said, this Seven of Cups is this indication of like this chaos that might be being created by your ex and the situation surrounding your ex, the splitting of property, that sort of a thing. I feel like this guy is a lawyer or somebody that's going to help you. He knows the truth, or truth will come out. He will find the truth. He will help you. He will celebrate with you. He will solve it for you. I feel like we see this card over here, like he will assist you, and he will assist you because of the beauty of these cards and the high standards with which you sort of treat others. I kind of get the feeling like he sees you in this weird way in this reading. He appreciates the Empress. He can see that you guys are on the same level. There's a respect or something, a mutual like understanding that I think he wants to help you, and you need to let him help you. He will help you. He will help you sort through the confusion, the choices, and the emotions of all of this, and help you to stay analytical and move forward in a very clean and clear and precise way. You're moving to the Six of Cups, right? He'll move you towards the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is always about nostalgia, and it's about home and family, right? So I know that your home is part of a big issue that you've been dealing with. I have a feeling he might help you to win your home, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. I don't want to future predict. I don't want to say anything too in particular, but I feel like there could be this possibility, or it looks like to me, like from a very basic place, that these cards could be explaining to me that you could be winning a place through him, and with his help and your intelligence too. The two of you together can be a formidable force that ends up allowing you to win this and come out smelling like a rose. Right? Feeling good and getting yourselves. And this too, I will say, the Six of Cups is very nostalgic of the Three of Cups, where Three of Cups is more celebratory, and this is more about family, but this is also celebrating those that we love too in the presence of our home. So I think that there is this uprighting that will be happening in this situation. Let's look at this Seven of Cups. So we have the Nine of Swords, nightmares, indecision, worries, anxiousness, anxiety. Okay, remember, this is an outside influence. So this could be something that's coming at you. This could represent from this Seven of Cups, from the confusion of the emotionality of the Seven of Cups. When this sort of flows towards you, it brings with you these Nine Swords that want to fuck with you, that want to confuse you, create anxiety, depression, sadness, worry, all of those things. But this is not of you. This is around you. Keep that in mind. The Judgment card. So like, again, answering the call. Also, the Judgment is about like sort of the truth coming out in some way, shape, or form through, I would almost go so far as to say through almost like spiritual nature, like, the angels coming in and kind of separating this all out and putting an end to it, like figuring it out. Like, to me, the way that I'm looking at this is, this feels like there's a transformation that takes place here that you almost don't even need to get involved in and sink to that level. Like, don't even, like, let spirit work it out for you, because it's nasty is my feeling. And I knew the devil was going to come out over here. I fucking was going to call it before I started flipping cards. And I was like, I thought in my head, I was like, if the devil shows up over here, I know this is your ex. And there's the fucking devil. All right, so that's Capricornian energy. The devil's going to show us wherever we are weakest, Karen. We do not want to play with this person or this situation or this energy, because it's just trying to suck us in and suck us down from the beauty that you have here in your center. Okay? And so we don't want... This to me is so like regal, beautiful, head like chin up high, doing the right things for the right reasons. No, you may not be perfect, whatever, but you know what? From this point forward, you're going to do the right thing. Over here, this outside influence, whether it is the situations, the law team, your ex, whoever, they are fucking with you. They want to get under your skin. They want to charge you up and throw you off your game. Do not let them. And The devil is going to only show them, not only, first off, the devil's very unhappy. I'll say that right out of the gate. The devil is also sort of going to show us where our Achilles heel is. So if they try and attach into you through the emotions, because I will say this, there is a lot of an emotional card thing going on here, right? We have the 8 of Cups up here. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the 3 of Cups. We even have the 7 of Cups indicating over here in this other outside influence. So there is some like watery emotion stuff happening here. And you are a caring person, right? A giving person, an empath, maybe to a degree. So that is where it's going to try and tap in or get you. Don't let them. Fuck them. That's how I feel. Fuck them. This whole run of cards is like fuck them. And this here is the saving grace, because I really feel like this is them getting, like, this is your guides, your inspirers, your angels, your protectors, kind of standing in the midst of all of this and saying, no, you don't get, not today, Satan, as what's her name? Bianca Del Rio says on RuPaul's Drag Race, not today, Satan. Like, it's sort of, just don't let this affect you going forward. Stay in this and listen to this, because there's a clarity here. And although there might be some emotional confusion that you discuss with this person or this analytical mind, right? Because we see this here and we see it here. So this is like when you get with this person and they assist you and try and help you find clarity and clear thought and make contractual decisions that are like fair, just, and right and honest. You might have to go through some of that emotional confusion, but don't let that emotional confusion then kick you into the anxiety, the fear, and all of this devil energy. Does that make sense? Stay over here on this side of things with this analytical person. Understand that you're a good person and you deserve better. And it's going to get you back to normal and keep you sort of in your home and in that nostalgia. Now let's look at the outcome card and see where this all ends up, barring that nothing major changes. It is not set in stone, but it is, where things are potentially heading, barring, as things stand right now. If we don't like this card, we can make choices and changes to avoid the outcome. So let's see what it is. We've got the Lovers. Okay. Now, the Lovers does not indicate we are falling back in love with our ex. And I know you know that, Karen. I'm just saying that for anybody else that might watch this later, that might be a tarot junkie like me, or wants to like think that, oh, well, that means that they're going to be okay. No, that's not what that means. What that means is that you will be okay, I think. Lovers is the sign of Gemini, right? Lovers is about a decision needs to be made. Do we love ourselves? Or do we try and stay loving the person that can't give us what we need, that only wants to harm and hurt us? No, that's the choice that we make, and we choose ourselves. Again, I am going to point out this. We have another angel in this card that's overseeing these two lovers, right? That angel that we see here in Judgment that's over here duking it out for you in spirit realm, right? Kind of keeping them spinning in their own craziness. And when they try and bring their craziness to you, just don't let it slide right off of you. The Lovers card to me speaks to things turning out okay, being back in love with life again, back to this 3 of Cups where you can appreciate people, where you can love people like you do here with this Ace of Cups up in your spirit space. You can trust people. Ideally, again, not everybody's going to always, do you right. I can't make that promise. But it brings you back to the state of loving life again, feeling optimistic again, feeling connected again, feeling like love is possible again. Do you know what I'm saying? Where it's that sort of a vibe. And it's also major arcana. So it's a very good, powerful, profound, big impact ending that's going to take place. Let me just see what the clarifiers are on this Lovers card. We've got the 7 of Pentacles. It's hard work. That's not a bad card. It's just hard work, and we might have to wait for this harvest to come in, right? So we might have to wait a little while for this Lovers to come about, or to maintain this Lovers, we may have to work a little bit hard. We may have to give our attention to it, keeping a positive mindset, a positive outlook on how our life is, where we're connected and who we're connected to. That requires work, that requires attention, that requires discernment. So all of that, and we want to keep that grounded, right? There's nothing wrong with that. The 10 of Wands is the dropping of a burden. Hello, burden. Like, this is our burden here. When we get to drop that and let that go, we're done. Wands is about spiritual desire too. So when we drop that that hard sort of heavy load of sticks or bullshit that we've been carrying within this relationship, we're free to start something new again. And we see that also reflected in this Fool chapter down here, where, and the Fool's not, I don't mean fool like in a bad way. The Fool is just a new, optimistic viewpoint of starting something new here. So we get that there too. And then we also have the Chariot. And Chariot is Cancerian energy. It's associated with the sign of Cancer. It's also major arcana. It's about moving forward in celebration, moving in forward towards self-nurturing, moving forward, placing ourselves first, putting ourselves in the chariot, honoring ourselves, similar to what we see here in this Empress, right? But this is about also allowing others to see and honor us too. Right? So we let go of those burdens. We do the hard work that it takes to do that, and we maintain the relationships that are worth maintaining, and we let go of all of the rest, and we move forward in our lives in a way that's empowered, strong, emotional. And I love that it ends on Cancerian energy, which is, yes, it can be nurturing and mothering, but it's also very much a water sign, which kind of goes along with all of these cups energies that we see here, which is the emotional side of you. You get to own that again and feel empowered by it, directed by it, but not like enslaved to it in any way. I hope that makes sense, Karen. I hope that makes sense. Let me grab my charm box. And I'm going to clear these. Do you want to take a picture of this spread before I do Miss Bonita's charms? Just if you need to look at it again, or if you have any questions about it later. Just let me know if you got a picture so I can start Miss Bonita's charms. You got it. Okay, great. I knew that devil card was going to come out on that run of cards. I had a feeling while I was shuffling, I was like, I was going to say, if the devil comes out, but I didn't want to predict it because I don't ever want to call a card out of the deck. But I was like, if the devil comes out of this card, I had the thought, and boom, there it was. I was like, oh, you bastard. So my grandmother. Oh, you dirty bastard. All right. Let me do Miss Bonita's charming really quick, and then I'm going to be done for the night, guys. I will try and get Tarot Tuesday in the planning stages and get it going, because I need to make this my full-time business, and I need your guys' help. I need you guys to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share it with your friends, tell everybody about me, send people my way, tell him he's good, he's great, only if you mean it. Don't tell lies. But if you like what I do, please support the channel by helping me get the word out there, because I'm just struggling to try and find viewers. And I thought that it's been 2 years, almost over 2 years now, I think, that I've been doing this, or April will be 2019, 2020. Yeah, April will be, I believe, the end of the second year. I'll be going into my third year of doing this, and I still am not, it's not growing like I thought it was going to. So, all right. Anyways, Miss Bonita, what did you want charmed on, dear? Like, just give me a one subject meaning, or either that, or you can have a general charming. And just so those of you that are new, like Miss Bonita, there is a daily forecast every morning here on the channel that's put up every morning. So you can always tune in for that, and your monthly taroscopes. I also have pick-a-cards if you want to watch some of those. Those are always fun. And you can go back and rewatch the pick-a-cards. And if you feel drawn to a deck or a group of cards, you can rewatch. Even if it's the same group, you can rewatch. You might get another message out of it that sounds different each time. Love. All right, let's look at love for Miss Bonita. Benita. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, so for love, first I'm going to pull out the Scrabble tiles. So we have an E, we have an O, and we have a W. The total would come to 6, and it could be woe, W-O-E, and woe to me is usually not a great thing. It could be like woe to me kind of signifies sadness. Maybe you've been hurt in love. I don't know, but let's see what's going on in the charms. So we have Vishnu here, and we have, I believe this is Kali. I think this is Kali. It's interesting that we have two gods here, one facing upside down, one upright, but face down, and one upside down and upright, right? And we have this this charm of the sort of chakra system, right? But it was like this over these two. I feel like this, Miss Benita, and you're gonna have to give me a yes or no. I'm gonna say this: there is somebody in your trajectory. There is somebody you're connected to. I don't feel like you guys are connected in a way that is beneficial. Like I feel like it's off and on again, or it's fighting, or you butt heads, that kind of thing. And the reason why I'm going to say that, we've got the Taurus here. We've also got these two in opposite directions, even though they're in the center. So I feel like there is somebody, or there was somebody. Do you see how we've got the male? He's upside down, face up, and we've got the female. She's face down and upright. And they're both gods. They're both the Indian deity gods. So that to me makes me feel like you guys are on equal paths, or you're very similar. You might be different, but you're similar in certain ways, like you're equals, right? And then with this over it like that, it feels like the energy is intertwined in that aura between these two. So I'm going to go so far, and I know this is going to sound weird to you, Miss Benita, because you've not ever been charmed by me, but I'm going to say that this person you may have a past life connection to. It could even be soulmates, that sort of a thing. But it definitely has that bond, that charge, all of that to it. All right. Now, in the past, let's look at this. This is the past end of the board. We have the 6th chakra here, which is the third eye, and we have the transformative butterfly down in the subconscious. This is kind of in the present mind, but also in the higher mind. To me, these two feel like this is you back before maybe you were involved with this person or dealing with this person. You felt in control, empowered, beautiful, all of those sort of things. We even have the clear crystal down here in the subconscious. So I get this feeling that there might have been real clear communication amongst yourself, with yourself, about what you wanted, when you needed it, how you needed it, all of that sort of stuff, right? And then maybe when he came into the picture, it might have been a little bit harder to keep that clarity, right? Only because that happens to everybody. That's a pretty natural occurrence. Don't worry, girl. We'll get to the walk away. Don't tell me anything. I don't want you to tell me anything about your situation. Just give me yeses and nos. Like, don't tell me anything, because if you tell me too much, then I'm not reading you, dear. Then you're just giving me the information, okay? But so my feeling is I feel like you had your shit going on in the beginning before meeting them, and now they've posed a bit of a problem that you're kind of at a crossroads with right here. Although now your energy is intertwined and connected. Y'all are butting heads like two bulls, though. But that's not bad. I do think that there's a connection here, though. Like, and it's maybe a deeper connection, but it may not be the best connection, right? Down here in the subconscious, now this is more the future part of the board. Over here is the subconscious. We have the black heart ring, right? Which to me, this speaks to kind of, it is sort of romance. It's a weird ring because sometimes it can make me think of romance, but sometimes it can make me think of romance that's not really the best suited for us, or it might be romance that's not ready for us. It's down here in the bottom in the subconscious, and it's more towards the future. So let's see. I also see this graduation cap here, which makes me feel like somebody may graduate or change in some way in the future. I don't know which way that will be, But I do need to say that that's like sort of a graduation. That graduation could be you departing from him and breaking free of this cycle, or that graduation could be him maybe evolving in some way, shape, or form. But I will say this, both of you have your issues. It's not all him and it's not all you, girl. You're face down and he's face upside down, right? What you both want to be is he wants to be like this and you need to be like this. So you're equally kind of at fault here for why this isn't working. I'm not going to lay blame at any one person's foot, right? There is problems with both of you. And both of you are very incredible, accomplished people, because two deities, a male and a female, show up here and they land right in the center, showing me like we could do this if we wanted to, but are we too bullheaded or stuck in our ways or in who we think we are to make this work? I'm not saying you should either, Miss Bonita. I'm just saying that that's how I'm seeing it. Each of you have your equal baggage, let's say. Now, and I feel like this is like a karmic thing, like you two, like this laying over you is sort of like this, your energies are all intertwined. Now, over here we have the Page of Swords. Pages always indicate learning, optimism, and about the mind. So when I look at this, this is about clearing the mind or maybe learning new ways of thinking. It's very close to the stubbornness of the bull and the strength of the bull. So I would say that maybe if you wanted this to work, and I'm not saying you need to want it to work, I'm just saying if you wanted it to work, somebody needs to change their thinking, possibly both of you, around this connection. Then the other thing here is we have the King of Cups. But the King of Cups is turned over. Somebody's denying their emotions. I would think it might be him. Like he's not being clear or forthright about how he truly feels, or he doesn't feel as though he's able to. He may have some damage from the past or some sort of upset where he doesn't feel as though he can speak as freely or as clearly as he would want to. The only other charm that's on here that I should acknowledge is the rooster, and the rooster is usually a sign of good luck. But he was flipped upside down and face down, which says to me, like going into the future, I don't necessarily know that there's luck in this connection, right? If there is going to be luck in this connection, emotions need to be expressed. New ways of thinking need to be learned. Both of you need to kind of take your, responsibility for your parts in things and honor your connection as being important, instead of like maybe bickering back and forth or putting it on the other one and saying, oh, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. Oh, if you could only do this, then I could be happy. It's like that sort of a thing. It's not getting you, either of you there. There is a connection here. And it's a pretty, I mean, I'm going to be fair and honest. The cat's all pushing up against me. Sorry. I'm going to be fair and honest. To me, this feels like a significant connection. Like it feels like it could be soulmate kind of connection, like, or at least past lives where you guys have done past lives together. You're part of like each other's, you're connected in that way. The way that these have fallen out, like this is just a little weird to me. Like it's screaming that to me. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have other soulmates that you can meet up with in this lifetime. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to make this one work just because he's a soulmate. You can do whatever you want. There is other options here. And there have been times in the past where you have felt more clear, more concise, more spiritually connected. And right now you're not feeling that way with him. This woe to me does make me feel like he might be bringing you nothing but heartache at this point, or vice versa. You might be bringing nothing but each other some heartache. And is that really what you guys want to do or what you want to be involved in? Because I feel like maybe the write-up at the beginning, the mock-up at the beginning of this, when y'all came into the baby body and came onto the planet was, ooh, one day we'll meet together and we'll have this high, wonderful love. But through experiences we get on the planet, you know, and through the suffering and the traumas and the things that we go through in life, sometimes we can't necessarily meet as the people that we intended to be by the time we met one another in this life. Does that make sense? And so it's no harm, no foul. Nothing's ever really wrong. It's just sort of through the things outside of our controls, the families we were born into, the experiences we've suffered, whatever, those things make and form our egos and our minds in different ways, shapes, and forms. So the two gods or the two deities that were on the other side planning to meet together in this lifetime and come together, you might not be able to at this time. I mean, that's a distinct possibility, but that's something that you have to consider. He has to consider. Is he willing to share his emotions? Are you willing to change some of your thoughts or open up your mind? And I'm not saying this is just you. This could be him also needing to open up his mind to things too. But when they have that button on Facebook about relationship status and it says it's complicated, girl, that was made for this charming. You for other options? I don't see any other options in here because I think the reason why is you need to be done with this option first. So I'm not going to say that there's not other options for you, but I feel like this whole reading is about, I feel like in the past you were definitely clearer in a better place to be ready for something, but in that clarity and that readiness, that's when this came in. But if he's not ready and you're still not ready and you're both are like devolving each other, then it's not good. So to separate from him wouldn't be harmful or wrong or bad, because if it's really intended and meant to come back round, then you guys will come back around in better versions of yourself, ideally, and then it happens. But I don't see a third party or something else here, because right now, this is the situation at hand in your love department. Until you clear that out completely, only then can something new grow in its place. So that is your charming, my dear. I hope that made sense. Thank you, Lisa, for gifting that. That was really sweet of you. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Miss Bonita, if you're not already subscribed. I mean, there's always a possibility that you guys may come back together, but I think that you guys need to be, this charm laying on top of it says that your guys' energies are interconnected. Card reads for private are $50, dear, and I do them over the phone or Facebook video. When I do them here online live, I charge only like $25 just because it's public, so other people are watching. So I try and cut the price, but for a private one, it's an hour long over the phone or Facebook video for $50. Yeah, that's fine, Miss Bonita. If you'd like, follow the Facebook business page. All my links are in the video descriptions on my daily videos, and that will show you where my Facebook business page is. So subscribe to the YouTube channel and you can find it that way. And then that way you can message me directly there. You're welcome, Miss Bonita. All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off because I'm starving and my dog's been in the kennel for now 2 hours and 41 minutes. So I need to let him out to go pee-pee. Wow, this went long. I was surprised it went so long. That was good, though. There were some fun readings in there. Thank you all. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in. Please share the video out or let your friends know that I exist. I would love to get more subscribers to the channel. And if anybody has any ideas of what they'd like to see on the channel, please let me know that too. If I can accommodate, I will try to. As I've said in the past, I do have a Patreon channel. If you want to subscribe over there, there's special readings over there and you get the daily forecast a day early. And then, just support the channel in whatever way you see fit. I would greatly appreciate it. All right. Yes, please, Miss Bonita. If you're somebody I think you're new to me. I've never seen you on YouTube before, and I love your rose. So if you are new to me, please let other YouTubers know. I'm trying to build my subscription base, and I don't know why I'm not getting any larger. It just sits at 5. It went up to 532, which I was excited about, but it only went up by 2. So, all right, you guys, have a great night, and I will see you later. Take care. I'm going to go kiss on my puppy. All right, bye.